right, welcome to Colorado Springs, everyone. We're here at the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. My name is Amy, and I'm one of the lead keepers who helps to take care of our giraffe herd. And we want to welcome you back to our series, Abnormally Normal. As we can all acknowledge, right now is a little bit of a weird, abnormal time in the world, but we wanted to take some time to show you guys just how normal it is still here at the zoo. Well, we are missing our guests, and we're missing hanging out with you guys. We do pretty normal things here, just like training and enrichment, and we're hoping to take care of the animals. Oh, she just drooled right in my face. That's pretty normal too, so that's abnormally normal for my life. But yeah, we just wanted to see if you guys had any questions or wanted to check in with us about our giraffe herd while we're here. Feel free to ask some questions or leave some comments on the Facebook Live, and we'll try to answer those for you. But right now, we'll just fill you in a little bit on Viv and her friends who she's got out here in the south yard. This lady right here is Msichana. Msichana is pretty easy to tell apart. If you guys see her, she's the one who likes to stick her tongue out all of the time. So we will be keeping our live cams on, so you guys are free to watch these guys as long as it's 40 and sunny. They should be making their way out into the yard. We've had a couple of crazy days lately where we've had a lot of rain and snow, so the yard's been kind of slippery and muddy. You might be able to see the keepers in the morning testing their footing out there and just making sure that it's nice and safe for the giraffes to go outside. Today, it was a little bit slippery this morning. We might try to get them out there in the afternoon if it dries up just a little bit. But we do have access to what we call our side yard. So our side yard also has a camera. So if you guys want to watch, you can see Viv is outside today with Grandma Riyadh and Msichana. These guys are enjoying the sunshine a little bit. Viv is one of our calves that was born here in July. She's really special to us because she was one of the calves that you guys could see be born live. And she's grown into a really healthy, really beautiful calf. She's grown quite a bit. If you guys have been able to see our other giraffe, Panya, who's inside of the barn, Viv is almost as tall as Panya, who is 2 years old. So Viv is really, really big for her age, and Panya is really, really small for her age. So those two are about the same size, and they've been really good buddies. So we've been able to introduce those two. They get along really well. They play, they kick, they run around in the barn, which has been really fun for us keepers to watch. Panya is still getting used to some of our other troublemakers who like to see if they can push their limits with Panya, but Panya and Viv became fast friends. So that usually happens out there in the wild too. The ones who are about the same age and the same size will form little friendship bonds, and it's been happening really well with Panya and Viv. So it's been fun for us to watch them nuzzle each other's manes. Viv is outside. This is a newer thing for her. For those of you guys following Viv, you know that she comes to walking inside from the yard or going outside holding. She's been shifting really well the last few days, which has been really great for us. She still likes to see people. She likes to eat treats from a bunch of other guests and a bunch of other keepers, which I think she's had a drive past, so she's probably looking for some lettuce. But she's been shifting in now. Usually we had to go out there with a target stick and try to bribe her with crackers or some of her favorite browse, but it's just getting to the point now where she will follow in her friends, which is a huge relief for us. That might be closer to putting her back outside in the main yard. Hopefully her and Panya can form really good bonds, and then she'll follow Panya inside. We'll wait to see. So yeah, definitely let us know if you have any questions. Feel free to leave them in the comments, and we'll try to answer those for you. But right now you can see that Viv is standing next to Riyadh. So Riyadh is our oldest giraffe. She's 29 and a half years old, which is really, really old for a giraffe. And she kind of looks her age. You guys can see she's a little bit grayer in the face, and she's got some markings that are starting to fade a little bit. But she's been a really great buddy for both Panya and Viv. Usually our older females are ones that tend to flock towards the calves and make sure that the calves stay nice and safe. So you can see that Viv definitely checks in and makes sure that Riyadh is watching out for her, and Riyadh watches out for Viv. So we've got some really fun family groups. Riyadh still works and participates in some hoof care, so we try to work on her feet, and we're just starting to try things with Viv. Viv has been in a training program with us ever since she started taking food, which was really young for a calf her size. Usually they start eating at about 3 months of age, but those of you guys who have followed Viv's story, you know that she started eating from us after a week. So she's been working with us for quite a long time. And we have been working on getting her used to different things. So what we're working on with her right now are some x-rays, voluntary x-rays. We ask her to stand on a little wooden board, and the wooden board lifts her up off the ground just enough that we're able to take some x-rays of her feet. So we're working on that with her. After we get done with that, we'll probably start some hoof care. Most of our giraffe calves, we have hoof care trained by their 4-month birthday or maybe their 5-month birthday. Viv's a little bit different. Viv, as most of you guys know, is pretty stubborn and decides to do what she wants to do when she wants to do it. So we've been working with her in a little bit of a different capacity. We've been asking her to go into our training area that is more of a shoot space so that we're nice and safe. She right now doesn't like to be touched lower than her neck, so we're working on working our way down her feet so that we can do it in a nice safe spot before we put her over at the fire hose. But it's our goal to get her doing hoof care really soon. The farrier's still coming. He's coming to work on these guys as well, so that's a pretty normal thing during this abnormal time. This hoof care is still going on for our herd.
You said the wind's affecting your mic a little bit.
Oop, sorry, I'll try to turn so that the microphone's not in the wind. Is that better? Can you hear me a little bit better? It is kind of windy out here today.
Yeah. So one of the questions we have received a bit is, do you think the giraffe missed the guests?
Oh, yes. The question was, do the giraffe miss the guests? And yes, they are definitely sitting out there waiting for people to come by and feed them. So we've had to give them a lot of extra opportunities throughout the day to get different treats. You can see that they'll just stand here. I don't know if you saw Viv just waiting and watching even when that cart drove by to try to get some lettuce. So we do have things like puzzle feeders that we put the lettuce into to try to keep them busy. These guys get 400 pounds of tree branches every day that's donated from our community, which keeps them busy. We hang it from giant posts that you guys can take a look at in our yard to keep them nice and motivated and doing other things. But yeah, I think they definitely miss seeing their friends. These guys can tell all of us apart from each other, and they can definitely tell sometimes who vet staff is, and I think that they know certain guests of ours. So you'll have guests that come here quite often, and they form bonds with our giraffes, and the giraffes will come over as soon as they see them or hear their names called. So they definitely miss their friends.
That's the question over and over. Do they miss the visit?
Yes, they very much do.
There's a question about how long their tongues are.
Their tongues are about 18 inches. I'll see if I can get Msichana to stick hers out for you guys. She's the one who likes to stick it out quite often. But you guys can see it's really dark in color. And they do something that's pretty cool. Their tongue's called prehensile. So prehensile means hand-like. And they use their tongue just how we would use our hands. And they touch things, they feel things. You can see them looking around. You'll see that they'll lick on the wood and touch metal and pull your hair, pull your ponytails, things like that when they're here at the zoo. They're using and feeling it just like we would use our hands. So that's pretty cool. It's dark in color, it's purple, and they think that that's to help protect them from getting sunburn on their tongue. So if they're a little bit darker in color and they're reaching it and sticking it out all the time looking for leaves, it might help to protect them from that, because the further back their tongue is, it's actually pink, but the part that sticks out is a dark purplish bluish color, if you guys were able to see that.
Linda asks, how's Mahali doing?
Mahali is doing really well. He still has times where he's holding up his feet, but when we were doing checks on him before and monitoring his health before his procedure, we were seeing him hold up his feet quite a bit. Now it's maybe 1 or 2 times a day, and he's not leaning up against walls or anything like that like he was doing before the procedure. So he's definitely better off than he was. I wouldn't call him a 100% healthy animal, but I definitely think that the procedure helped his feet a bunch. His trainer Rick has been working on what we call wire wheeling. So we're getting him used to the sensation of it's like a I don't know how to explain it. It's like a spinny brush that's attached to a drill. So it makes a noise just like a drill would make, and then we brush it on his feet. We use that to try to get him used to the sensation of that wire wheel on his feet so that we can put new shoes on him again once we're able to get his other shoes off. So his shoes will come off on our next farrier visit, hopefully, and then we'll try to get new shoes put on because they do seem to be helping him quite a bit.
Everyone's asking about pregnant giraffe.
We don't know. Yeah, your guess is as good as mine right now, so we'll see.
We'll keep you posted.
Yes.
That looks like all the questions for now.
Okay. One more question.
Giraffe calves nurse.
How long do giraffe calves nurse? That's a good question, and one I wish I knew more on. Usually we'd say between 1 and 2 years, but Viv has not been nursing very often, so she started to eat browse and tree branches and eat grain way younger and doesn't nurse as much as I've seen other calves nurse. And then we've got other giraffes that old, and we would see them try to nurse off of their mom. So I don't know if it's like a social thing. Tumbili and Msichana especially did that when they were younger. When they were 7 or 8, they still were trying to nurse off of their parents, and Viv is like, bye. she stopped doing that a long time ago. We'll still see her occasionally do it, but not very often, not as much as you would expect. So I would think by the time she's a year old, she'll stop trying altogether.
Do giraffes produce excess saliva?
If you ask me that, yes, they drool in my face all the time. So there's a couple of them that are especially drooly. If you guys come to visit here, you'll notice Lakipia is one that constantly drools and gets us covered in slime. But Msichana is one of the other ones who's pretty good at sliming us, and Mahali is really good at you'll see drool marks coming down. But Lakipia is probably the worst. It's almost like she purposefully dunks her face in the drinkers and then comes over to keepers and just wipes her mouth off on us. So yeah, they drool quite a bit, but some more than others. I don't know, I guess that's like people or dogs. So yeah, their individual personalities are really fun, and they're really cool to get to know, and they do all do their own thing that's a little bit weird and makes them a little bit different from the others.
I know this is a long answer, but can you give some information about hoof trims? The question is, do giraffe hooves need to be trimmed like horses?
Yes, the answer to that is yes. So it's long and short all at the same time. The short answer, yes. We try to start trimming and we try to follow close to what horse trim guidelines are. We have a farrier who works with us, Steve Foxworth. He's part of the ELPO, the Equine and Prevention Organization. I hope I'm saying that right. But he comes to visit us right now. It's 2 times a month, and we try to do each giraffe at least once a month. So the recommendations are every 4 to 6 weeks for our herd, and we're hitting that mark right now with our herd. Or if you guys go back onto some of the giraffe feet to give us their right foot or their left foot, and then curl or knuckle over, and we're able to trim out the bottoms of their feet. They really like it. You can see most of them feel a lot better once they get their hooves trimmed. It's kind of like you, if you get really long fingernails and they kind of get in your way, it feels pretty good to get those off to a manageable point. The same thing for giraffes. It really affects how they walk and how comfortable they are on their feet. So we've been able to do quite a bit of training to get these guys really nice and comfortable. Some of our giraffes that have more arthritis than others, they do get comfortable shoes put on that helps to hold their feet in nice places, which makes them walk a little bit better and even out their foot care and wear. So our farrier comes pretty often, and it's really good for our giraffes, so we really appreciate that he comes down and helps us out like that. Mahali is doing really good with his shoes. Right now, they're on there pretty tight. So usually the shoes fall off on their own after about 4 weeks. Mahali's are going strong, so he's doing really well. We're actually trying to figure out how to get them off in the best way possible. So we've been working with the farrier. He has come down and nippered off the edges, and then we're going to try to do that voluntarily too. So Mahali is trained to put his foot up on a block and turn his foot over, and he lets the farrier trim and nipper off the shoes as well. So we're going to be working on that with him, but he seems to really enjoy the shoes. He's walking around a lot better than he was before his procedure and before he got the shoes put on. So we really think that that was a good move for him. Yes.
Is Panya going to join the other giraffe outside this spring?
Oh, so we are taking it day by day with Panya, and we let Panya decide what Panya wants to do. So Panya has met all of our herd members except for Khalid at this point. So she's been integrated in with most of the giraffes, but like I was saying before, sometimes some of the giraffes choose to kind of push her around a little bit. So the ones that we are currently not putting her with are Tumbili, Twiga, Amani, and Lakeisha. Those ones just kind of, Panya does the greatest thing. She just kind of stands still and looks at them like they're crazy, but we don't want her to eventually get scared of being put with the herd. So we want to make sure that we're mitigating all of those behaviors between the giraffes and making sure it's always a really positive experience when she's with the rest of the giraffe herd. So right now she can go in the groups of up to like 9 giraffes in G3, which is pretty fun for her. She gets along with everybody except for those 4 really well. She gets a lot of treats and a lot of browse and a lot of her most favorite things when she's in with the other giraffes. So right now we're just kind of playing it by ear. Panya is telling us what she's comfortable with and what she's not comfortable with. We're getting her used to going into all of the stalls in the giraffe barn. So she's been into all of our giraffe stalls except for 1, which is the one that our bull is usually in, and that's usually why we haven't tried her yet. So it is our hope to get her out there. I don't want to make any promises on when, because that's going to be totally up to Panya and some of the rest of our giraffe. But you guys are still welcome to come and visit her. She's inside and she's taking food from guests really well. She really likes guests too, so usually she's got her face right up there begging for lettuce just like all of the others. Okay, well, it's good. Thank you guys for joining us for our Abnormally Normal series. We'll see you again soon, and stay safe during this weird time.